Hi, it's Liz. Hi. Um, hey, I'm just coming at you today as usual because I was thinking about something that's actually, been bothering me for a while, and I just wanted to directly address it because it's relevant to this channel. I just want to spell this out. I'm hoping that it is understood. Um, how do I put this? Being wrong doesn't make you delusional. I'm kind of frustrated that I even have to say this because, it's clear to me that a lot of people don't understand this, given the rhetoric that they use and the jokes that they make. It seems like it should go without saying that being wrong about something does not mean you have a mental illness. like when I put it like that, maybe it's like more, maybe you understand more. This comes up a lot because people like to make fun of people and say that they're delusional because they have a belief that is incorrect or that they view as incorrect. Especially people like to levy this against religious people. The God delusion would be a great example. That gets into some tricky territory. Because a delusion is when you don't care about what's real. You care about maintaining the delusion. And therefore, if there is contradicting evidence or a clear-cut argument that tears apart your belief, that is, logical, you just won't process it if you're truly delusional. Your brain will find a way to keep on believing regardless, right? And people can do this with beliefs that are true. I know that doesn't seem it's you're not going to be able to test it in the same way because you won't find contradictory evidence of something that is true, or at least, contradictory evidence that's airtight, right? And you're not going to be able to come up with a perfect logical argument against something that's true. I mean, you're probably not going to be able to come up with a perfect logical argument anyway, let's be real, but yeah. Something like God is tricky, right? Because unless you define God exclusively the way fundamentalists do, you're not going to be, it's an unfalsifiable belief. So you can't, there isn't contradictory evidence by definition. There can't be. There also isn't a clear-cut logical argument that contradicts it either, because it's unfalsifiable. That doesn't mean it can't be delusional. The way I see it, because delusion is in the realm of mental illness, I think any meaningful way of defining delusion would have to focus on the particular mental processes that the person is going through, not on the beliefs themselves. Now, obviously, people who are delusional can and often do have beliefs that seem really out there to everybody else, right? But it's also true that sometimes things that seem really out there to everyone else are true. So I think we should just throw out that whole kind of way of defining delusion because it's not helpful. And, somebody can also have an out there belief that is not true and still not be delusional because they're in a frame of mind where if they were presented with clear-cut evidence they were wrong, they might have a hard time with it. It might take them a while to absorb it, but they would. And they would, concede, right? And a delusional person is somebody who would not, if that situation came up, right? A delusional person is somebody who would dig their heels in deeper. And frankly, that is most people about a lot of things. Again, whether or not those things are true, I also think it's possible to have delusional thinking patterns around something that is true. For instance, all the Trump supporters before the 2016 election believed absolutely that Trump would win. And everybody said, no, Trump's not going to win. And Trump did win, right? You all remember that? The thing is, probably quite a few of those people would have believed that Trump won no matter what happened, right? That's delusional thinking. They happened to be right that time, but then the next time the election came around and he lost, many of those same people could not accept the reality that he lost. Now, I'd say they were delusional both times, even though technically they were right the first time, because it's the same kind of thinking. It's the same way of interacting with the truth. And I think it's much more useful for us to look at signs that somebody is deluding themselves than it is to look at specific beliefs that are either wrong or sound wrong to you and make a judgment about whether or not that person is delusional. That just doesn't make sense. Some things to look for, really. I mean, the main thing about delusion is that, like I said, no matter what happens, the delusion will find a way to reinforce itself. People's thinking will become very slippery. It will change at a moment's notice to incorporate new truths and make it seem like those truths make sense within the greater context of the delusion. They find ways to explain things away that they don't want to be true. And they conveniently forget the justifications they've used in the past that suddenly don't work anymore. That is the kind of thing to look out for. For sure. Okay, I hope I've explained this adequately. Let me know if you have any questions or if you want more specific examples. I'd have to do some actual work to make a video that was sort of about how to tell if somebody is delusional. There are definitely plenty of signs and tells, but I definitely don't feel ready just off the top of my head to create that. So let me know if that's of interest to you. Thanks for joining me on my rocking chair. Okay.